cutting. Aren't you familiar with the plants that germinate from seeds and those sprout from other parts? Of course you are. You are now grown up and you all know about this. Isn't it so? So now we are going to learn two new definitions. You have to note this down. The formation of seedlings from seeds is by sexual reproduction, and the formation of new plantlets from parts like root, stem, and leaf is called vegetative propagation. So, this is pretty simple. The formation of seedlings from seeds, that is, when plants grow from seeds, that is known as, that way of the formation is known as sexual reproduction. And when the new plants grow from parts like root, stem, leaf, it is known as vegetative propagation. That kind of formation of plants is known as vegetative propagation. Tapioca and sweet potatoes are cultivated by planting stem cuttings. Find out more examples for plants formed through sexual reproduction and vegetative propagation. Sweet potatoes are planted by cutting the stem of a plant and then again planting. Similarly, you can find more such examples for vegetative propagation and sexual reproduction. For example, in vegetative propagation, you can write about rose, jasmine, mangoes, and all those that are planted from other parts of a plant. And for the sexual reproduction, you have to write the plants that grow from a seed. For example, a brinjal. Is it clear, dear students? Complete the table. Now, after completing the table, let's move forward. Is a new guava plant produced usually by planting its stem cutting? Miss has been telling about stem cutting. But have you seen how it is? Let's see a small video to make it more clear.
Methods of vegetative propagation are cutting, layering, grafting, plant tissue culture. Cutting. Small vegetative part of a plant removed by making a cut with gardening scissors is called a cutting. A cutting may be a piece of stem, root, or even a leaf. While making a cut, care should be taken to see that there are some buds on it. Stem cutting is commonly used for propagation of grapes, rose, sugarcane, etc. In this method, a cutting of the parent plant, stem or shoot, having some buds on it is taken, and its lower part is buried in the moist soil. After a few days, the cutting develops roots and grows into a new plant. Buds of potato and leaves of bryophyllum are also used as cutting. The new plant formed by cutting is exactly similar to the parent plant.
So now you are clear with cutting, right? So what is the method to produce a new plant with all the qualities of the parent plant? There are many more other methods other than cutting. It should be the same variety of the parent plant. Let's see what it is. What will happen if we plant after sprouting roots on the branches of the parent plant? We are going to try some activities, but now it is not possible, right, through online. So Miss will show you a video based on that. So let's see the video and we'll come back.
Layering. In this method, a lower branch of a plant is bent down close to the ground and covered with moist earth in such a way that its growing tip remains above the soil surface. After a few days, the covered portion of the stem usually produces adventitious roots. The rooted branch is then cut and grown as an independent plant. This method is used to propagate plants such as jasmine, and it occurs naturally in black raspberries.
So that process is known as layering. Now in our textbook, a different type of layering is given. Layering can be done in different ways. It is around similar but in a small different way. So let's see how we do this. You can try it at home with the help of your parents. Layering. Select a branch of the plant from which sapling is to be produced. The branch must be pencil thick. The branches from the main stem are better. Like you can see a branch from the main stem. You have to take from those. Peel off 1 centimeter of the bark from the stem in circular shape. You can remove the outer covering of that stem. And inside you can see a small green and white thing. Then cover the peel off part with a slightly moistened mixture of coconut fiber, soil and sawdust. Then cover it with a polythene sheet and tie both of the ends with a twine with a small rope. You have to wet it enough so that it should be moisture full every time. It should have a slight touch of water. Then within 2 months, numerous roots will sprout. Now what you can do is, you can cut that branch and plant it in a different pot. Now you can cut the branch and plant it in a pot then till it is ready to be transplanted into a soil. After growing some time in the pot, then you can change it onto the soil. Take care to plant the sapling in a suitable place, because in the beginning we told suitable place and soil all are necessary for a plant's growth. Isn't it so? So will you try this? Now let's see which all plants can you do layering. Layering is effective in plants like jasmine, pichimulla, rose, hibiscus, cashew and sapota. Layering is also done on branches that grow close to the soil by bending the middle of the branch into the soil. That is like we saw in the video. Now let us examine some information related to layering. You have to learn this, okay? Most of the plants can be grown this way. Plants formed from layering do not have as much as lifespan as plants formed from seed germination. They will be of smaller size too. When you germinate a seed, it has a longer lifespan and also it is big. They have qualities of the parent plant. It has the same qualities of the plant from which you layered the stem. If layering is done on diseased plants, new plantlets will also be infected. If you take the stem from a diseased plant, the new plant will also have that disease. Flowering and fruiting of such plants are faster than those in the plants formed from seeds. When you grow a plant from seed, it takes so much time for it to bear a fruit. But in this way, you can get fruits and vegetables faster and flowers too. Through this method, we can produce more saplings within a short period. For seed, it takes time for it to grow. But in this way, we can produce saplings in a short period. Layered plants do not possess the taproot system. They require more care than the plants from seeds. Now with this help of this information, write down in your rough book, the science diary. Now you can use your rough book until you get your notebook. The merits and demerits of the plantlets produced through layering. Okay, that is the advantages and disadvantages of the saplings which is produced through the layering. Now we have another method called the grafting. Grafting is another method used to produce superior quality plantlets. This method is practiced from ancient times. Superior quality plantlets are produced by joining the stems of two plants of the same species. Now, this has been practiced for so many years. It is a practice that has been going on for a lot of years, and we get very good products. We take two different plants and make it into a one plant. So how about we see a video so that it gets more clear? Okay, right?
Grafting. Two plants are joined together in such a way that two stems join and grow as a single plant. One which is attached to soil is called stalk, and the cut stem of another plant without roots is called scion. Both stalk and scion are tied with the help of a twine thread and covered by a polythene cover. Grafting is used to obtain a plant with desirable characters. This technique is very useful in propagating improved varieties of various fruits and flowers. Example: mango, citrus, apple, rose. Suppose if you have two varieties of fruit yielding trees in your garden. One tree has the character of giving big sized fruits but less in number. The taste of the fruit is pretty good. The other one gives a large number of fruit, but they are neither big in size nor tasty. By grafting a very young scion, shoot pot of a plant can be made to flower and produce fruits quite fast.
So that is how we do a grafting. The rooted plant selected for grafting is called stalk, and the branch selected for grafting is called scion. You have to learn these words and its definition clearly. What are they? The stalk and the scion. Okay, dear students? And in this method, we take, for example, there is a plant. It gives very good mangoes, very tasty, very ripe and very big mangoes, but only produces little fruits. And there is another tree where it produces not tasty nor ripe. It gives a lot of fruits, but it is not at all tasty nor good looking. So when we join both of these plants, the new plant will have a lot of very tasty, ripe, big and so many fruits, and that is the superior quality. That is why it is known as the superior quality. So don't forget the stalk and the scion. Branches of mango trees like Neelam, Malgova can be grafted to plantlets of indigenous mango trees. How the plantlets of the indigenous mango tree is the stalk and the branch of the Malgova is the scion. Let us try this. So what is given in this activity is peel off the bark from the facing sides of both the stalk and the scion as shown in the figure in 3.5 cm length. Then bring the peeled off portions of stalk and scion in contact with each other. Wrap them together firmly with a jute twine. Cover it with a wax cloth or a plastic tape. After 1 month, cut partially the stalk above the covered area and the scion below. Wait for 1 more month and cut and detach the part completely. When it attains proper growth, it can be replanted to a more suitable place. Remove any branches sprouting on the stalk. So you have to remove the stalk part away. Graft the branch of any other variety of mango tree on the sapling of an indigenous variety of mango tree. Try that if you can and if you are interested. Can you think of any other method by which good quality saplings can be produced? Think about it, but we will learn about it in the next class in the next week. Okay? So this much is enough for today, but we will summarize it, okay? So that you can grasp it.
Now we'll just have a glance at what we studied today. Like a summary, these notes will be shared with you later. So reaping gold from soil. The formation of seedlings or new plantlets directly from seeds is called sexual reproduction. That is, when a plant is grown from its seed, it is known as sexual reproduction. The formation of new plantlets from vegetative parts of the plant, such as root, stem, and leaf, is called vegetative propagation. That is, when you get new plants from parts of the old plant, like root, stem, and leaf, is called vegetative propagation. And then here is given the difference between sexual reproduction and vegetative propagation. So what are the differences? Sexual reproduction is slow, uncertain, and less economical method. It is a very slow process, and also we don't know about the quality, but it is not expensive. It is very cheap. Vegetative propagation is more quicker, more certain, and a bit more expensive than sexual reproduction. Seedless plants cannot be reproduced by this method, but seedless plants can be reproduced by vegetative propagation. New varieties are possible in sexual reproduction, but no new varieties can be produced from vegetative propagation, because during vegetative propagation we get the same variety of plant. Now, stem cutting. Stem cutting is removing a portion of the stem and fixing it into the soil to allow the growth of roots and shoots. Examples are rose, bougainvillea, chrysanthemum, and sugarcane. You only need to learn 2 examples of this. Layering. Layering is a method in which a branch of a plant is covered with some material and supplied with water to produce roots. Example, hibiscus, jasmine, rose, and bougainvillea. Now here are some characteristics plants propagated by layering. They have a short lifespan and are of smaller size. They retain the qualities of the parent plant. Flowering and fruiting are much faster. Saplings can be produced within a short period. Do not possess a taproot system. So the saplings grow very fast, and the flowering and fruiting of the plant is fast. It doesn't take so many years like the other plant, but they have only a short lifespan. It is not like the proper plant. Now, what is grafting? Grafting is joining the stem of a living plant to another, causing it to grow as a part of another plant. Example, sapota, mango, guava, and apple. The rooted plant selected for grafting is called stalk, and the branch selected for grafting is called scion. That is, if this is the rooted plant, these are the roots, and this is the rooted plant stem, no? This is called the stalk. Now you're taking another small part from the other plant and bringing it and keeping it on this rooted plant. What happens is you tie this together. Now this is called the scion and this is called the stalk. This both together merge and give a new variety of plant. So this is a summary of what we learned today. Okay.
So my dears, that was all for today. I hope you have understood the classes. If you have any doubts, please clarify with me in the group. See you in the next week. By then, get all your notes ready. So till then, bye, take care and stay safe, children.